Did I do it? Did I do it? Whoa, that's a long delay. Okay. Might have done it. Looks like I've got quite a long delay. And the cat's here. Great. I don't know if anyone can hear me. Oh, all I can do is start, I suppose. Hello. Take that away. Just showing you what I just finished. This is my Hippo Lovey that I just finished just before I started this stream. I've only pulled the face out about 5 or 6 times, but I think I'm happy with it now. And she's got some tufts. And it's on a star blanket, a 6-point star blanket. I actually made a bag recently, and this is the yarn that was left over from the bag. Trying to use it all up and not waste it. You can barely see her nostrils, but they are there. Yeah, so she's all done, and a lovey is like a toy for a baby, and it can also lay over them and keep them warm. That's why it's set into a blanket. And that is my lovey, and the star pattern is just available on the internet. I just put in diagrams for star pattern, so that's all. And the actual toy part was from this magazine here. You see it's up in the top corner. I didn't end up using the blanket because I wanted a star, so I used this bit here. As you can see, I ran out of grey, so I just, in the front loops, I just did some 2 double crochets all the way around and then carried on the blue, so she looks like she's wearing a jumper. And that's it. So I'm quite happy with this, how this turned out. It's only a lovey, but it's only the second one I've ever done, so I'm happy with it. So we'll put her out the way, and I'll show you the lizards, because we've done a bit on the lizards. Here's the big guy, and the cat. There he is there. We finished his legs off the other day, and put the wire through. So this wire is going down through there and up there and out again. So that's him. And then the other little guy, who's quite a bit smaller, is this guy here. This one is actually the right, he's the size that they're meant to be. But I started this one first, and then I realised that it was a bit bigger than I wanted. He's not massively bigger, but this one doesn't have any wire here, so I just put the wire through the belly like that. Right, so today's job is to connect these legs up and stuff them, if I can, and then fix the feet. So what I might do, which one would be the hardest to do? Probably the, no, it doesn't really matter, does it? I suppose. So we need to get our yarn. This is all I've got left as well. Hopefully it'll be enough. And thread, maybe, and there's the cat again. For you, those who don't know, the cat is deaf, so she doesn't know how loud she is, and she's just wandering about. ourselves that. Pair of scissors, pair of scissors, pair of scissors. There we are. Okay, click that. Hope somebody talks on the chat so I know that it's working. Please. There is a delay though, so put a knot in. Now, let's pick on a foot. Let's pick on this foot. So, got no idea whether the chat's working. At least I got it connected to YouTube, so that's a plus. Yeah, I've got my handy dandy stuffing stick and some fluff. And now we're going to try and get some stuffing in this leg, which is not going to be easy because I don't want to take it off. So we just get the stuffing, and then because you've got the wire in the middle, we can't really stuff the leg first. We have to stuff the leg with the wire in it, and it's not getting anywhere, so we need to fold it over more so it makes like a blockage, and then we'll be able to push it down. For anyone seeing this later, please tell me what I've done wrong if I've done something wrong, because I really don't know. I'm trying to learn. Okay, so we got that bit in there. I'm going to try and keep the stuffing to the outside of the leg, because we need the inside to come as close as we can to the body. So when he stands, it'll be correct. I think I need to bend that way a bit. Okay. So, how fat is that? That's not too bad. Oh, we will sew that one up. Oh, get that out of the way. So with sewing up, all you do, pick a spot, any spot, and make sure that he is looking at you directly. Twist his legs so they're fairly even. That looks about right. And then attach your yarn somewhere. Doesn't really matter because you're trying to, well, it does matter. It's got to be under the leg, but it doesn't matter where under the leg, so that we can hide the knot. Can you see the knot just there? So we just pop it under. Then make sure the leg is straight down. So the leg is basically in line with that stripes, because we know those stripes run straight across the body. We can fix the foot up later as long as the leg is straight to the body. Now we start sewing it on. And all I'm doing is a stitch on the leg, pick up some from the body. I usually try and do two, because just doing one makes it like a point loading. It's too much pressure in the one spot. Oh, there we go. Sorry, hit the camera. See, we've got 2 stitches there. Pull it through, pull it tight, and then pick up here. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to get through, but you see where I'm putting the needle? It's behind the V, but under the top V. It's just a little bit more. Oh, we're attached somewhere. There it is. Come on, get off. There we go. It's a little bit difficult trying to sew it up when there's all legs in the way. Keep making sure that your leg is straight. I think what's happened is my tail's too short. There we go, that's better. Less of it to get tangled. Alright, so now we are going through there. Come on, get through. And then that's our last one there, so we'll go this one here. And then this one here. Working our way around. And you notice I've pulled a bit of stuffing up. Just use the point of the needle, push that back down, because all it's done is it's attached itself to the thread. It's not a problem. Keep going around. Trying to go under the two V's is not always possible, but we try. So you want to make a fairly, I mean, you can see it, so it's not made it invisible, but it's a fairly smooth transition, that's the word we want. And keep going around. There we go. And then this one. The little one's going to be harder to do, so I thought I'd do this one because you'll be able to see it better. Now you want, because this is a freestanding leg, you want to go underneath as well. If it was like, you know how some cats sit, you know when they sit and they've got their feet up and in, you can miss the inside sometimes because the outside is so firm. But because this guy's got a freestanding leg, we're going to have to keep going around, so onto the inside of the leg. And another one, a little bit harder to see. And while this looks difficult, it's not actually the hardest part. The hardest part will be making the second one match it. What I might do is I'll do this pair of legs and then I'll do the other pair of legs on the other one. That way, and I might, just to show you the difference on how hard they are or easy they are to do. And the cat's still singing. I don't need a soundtrack. We've got a cat. Alright, so we're back where we started, and now the leg is attached. See, it's all fairly... You can just see the stitches, but when you... I don't think it'll be that noticeable. I may even put shading in his joints. I haven't decided whether I'm doing shading on these guys yet. Shading is where you add basically makeup to them to make them look more realistic. Come on, get through. You want to do a knot. And then we want to hide the knot in there. So you want to get into the base of that knot we just made and then pop it inside. You see? Or cannot see the knot. Okay, so we cut that off. Now what I might do before I go on to the next bit, I might show you how I hide the end of the wire, because we need to do that as well. Basically what we want to do is we want to cover the wire, try and make it less of a curve, make it flatter. Cover the wire inside that finger, and we have to do it with a needle. Well, the way I do it is with a needle. Somebody else might have a different way. I don't pretend to know everything. So we want to match the foot colour, which is going to be a pain because this is all I have left. So we'll pull this thread out. And we've only got one foot this colour, which is, I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Alright, so we're at the colour now. Luckily all we need this string for is doing the sewing up, so it should be fine. I'm only going to use it singly. I'm not going to use it doubly, because if I use it doubly it's a little bit harder to control. Singly might take me longer, but I think it'll be more accurate. So to cover up the wire, we need to go through a stitch, that way our knot stays somewhere else. We might actually go a bit further away. So we've gone in back here in a fairly large hole, but we've come out in a stitch, well, breaking through the ply of a thread. Hopefully you can see that. So we've gone in through a hole between stitches, and we've come out through the ply of one of the threads. That way our knot will be kept inside. See, it's gone. Alright, so now we need to pick up yarn from either side. I am keeping on looking at the chat, but I really don't know whether the chat's working. I've got a feeling it's not. But at least this will be saved, so it's a video. So we're just working, trying to cover by picking up, trying to keep the wire in the middle and pick up a little bit from that side and then a little bit from this side. Just one strand, that'll be enough. We want to try to encase it in the work. Trying to hold it up so you can see. So now this one. Got to hold it up, and I can't. I can't pick it up and hold it up. I'm sorry. I'll try and get that one, I think. So you can see what I'm doing. What's that? Oh, it's the scissors. You see how I've got, I'm trying to line it up with this finger, and so I'm crisscrossing over the wire. I don't want to go around and around it, because what I'll do is it'll slip down and that won't help anybody. And then we go to the other side and pick up. Alright, so we're getting our way along. Try not to stretch the finger out too far, because then it'll be way too long against the wire. Getting there. Sorry for my hand keep going in the way, I can't do it any other way. So we're getting towards the end of the finger. Pick that up. Where's that? That needs to go there, so I need to pull that through that way. Yep. Another one. And I think that'll be the last one for that bit. Like that. Alright, so that's gone the full length along of that finger. Pull it tight and it closes in the top of the finger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back down because I know it's not quite totally covered in, and if it's not totally covered in, it'll fall down, especially at the end here. So we're just working our way back down, crisscrossing the edges of the crochet. And down here, need to go a bit further around because we want to pick up the foot crochet, not the already twisted over, you know, the original crisscross. We want to do the crochet from making the foot. Alright, so now we're back. We've got a covered in foot. Pick up another one. Most of the time I'm only picking up one thread. And one more, I think that'll do for that foot. Alright, so now that toe is encased. You see, it's not crochet, but you can't see the wire anymore. And then the top of the foot, it just looks like another toe. Can't see the wire at all, which is great. So now I'll just make a knot. Pick up a bit, pull it through, go back through the loop you made. And hope your string doesn't make another knot. I hate it when my string gets over twist because then it's hard to pull through. Pretty sure I've done something wrong with the chat. So you've got to get that little knot as tight as you can, and then go into the foot and out the other side. Alright. And then cut it off. Alright. Foot number 1. There we go, and his nose is just off the ground. And that way you can't see any of the wire, and he's got a stable base. Okay, now I can see a little hole there, so I'm going to try and fix that before I go any further, otherwise I'll forget to do it. So go through here, To hide your knots inside, make sure the end of your needle comes out through the ply of a thread. And that way your knot can't come any further. We just tuck the knot in. Now we want to close this. All we're doing is weaving across and then pick up that one, weave that across, and then alright, that'll do. Make ourselves a knot somewhere. Alright, that leg's totally fixed. And you don't ever cut off near your knot. You need to go through the body so that when you cut it, it pops back in. Unlike that one's not doing it. Push that back in. There we go. Alright, now his leg's totally done. And we'll do the other leg. And just make sure it's all lined up. Yep. And then we need to make sure that that matches that. So that's about there. We're just matching using these lines. That way the leg's pretty much in the right spot. Put that up there so I don't lose it. Right. We will use a handy dandy stuffer. So when you're stuffing something difficult, you've got to try and make a blockage, because then you'll be pushing the blockage down, not pushing through your blockage. And actually I might show you a trick, because this is not being helpful. So we'll just push that in. So that tiny piece is it's not really going to help, but anyway. What you can do is you can grab a piece, put your thumb on it and wind it around. And what it does is it locks into itself as you twine it. And then you can pull it off. And then push that in, and then pull your chopstick out, and that way it gets put right down the bottom. Like so. Now, is that as fat as that leg? Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, I don't think I'll add any more. We only need a little bit on the legs. Alright. I think that was the short bit. Was that the short? No, it wasn't that. It was that. That's the short bit. Alright, so now put a knot. And we'll sew this leg on. Now, you gotta make sure that they're level. Right there. First of all, get the thread attached to the thing you're using. Now, it's on that line. So the first stitch, this This bit here is on this line, so I have to do the first attachment to that line. That's what's good about amigurumi, you have reference points. Now, next one. Next one. Now, another thing to check, is if you look at him, it's hard to say because he's got a tail. You gotta make sure that the underneath is at the same point, which they are pretty close. Working our way around. Alright, that under. Oop, I'm in the right spot. Just keep checking with the other one so that they end up attached in the same place. And this one. Around here, so none of this underneath is attached, so keeping on going. Yep. Alright, so bring that in a bit so they match. And we are back where we started. And this one to there. Okay. Now we make a knot. Making a knot. Right. And then we go back into there. Coming out somewhere else. Right, so that's the front two legs attached all the way around and stuffed. Now, this finger, I think, is the same colour. Yay! So that means I can use the yarn that's on there to sew his foot on. So I'm just bending the wire so that it fits that better. Make another donkey knot. Roll it off your finger, and then it puts a knot right on the end. Not wasting any. Go in through a hole. and out between the ply. See how I split the ply? That way the knot's not going to pull through, but we do want to hide it. So just push it through into the leg, like so. There we go. And then we do the same on this one as we did on the other one. See, I can hold it this way so you can see. So pull it up tight, grab a bit from that side, grab from that side, a bit from this side. You got to watch sometimes because you lace your ends through, you might be picking up the end rather than the work. I nearly did that just then. Alright, gotta find one here. I'll use that one there. I'm really sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to show you. Excuse me. I'm going to have to put it down. I know it's not close enough to the camera, but I can't pick up and hold at the same time. I can't pick up the strands and hold the gecko, iguana. I keep saying gecko. Maybe it's a gecko I wanted to make. One more. Alright, so we got to the end of the finger. The finger looks a bit longer than the others, but it is the same. And now we work our way back. That's that one. Possibly should have used new thread because wrenching it through is pulling it off the end. I think it's staying now. And it's fluffing. And the next one. This one. Alright, still going. Doesn't want to pick up. Try again. Right, so now we're back. Just need to tie a knot. And then go out, down, and out. Right, not as nice as the first one, which is also now poking through because it's being played with too much. What I may end up doing is to put a little bit of glue right on the tip of the toes. So now, let's see, we want, that's flat, that's flat. Oh, look, I can get my finger on there without it touching, which means that he is being lifted up how he's supposed to be. So that was his front legs attached and the wire hidden in his feet. And then this one. Alright, so then next time I will be doing the back legs. Which I think might be easier, but I could be wrong. Not really sure. Back legs don't look right. What's wrong with this one? That's what the problem is. It's bent. Alright, I have to have a bit of playing around with that one, I think. Yeah. The wire's not doing a leg right. The knee's not in line with the ankle. Getting better. It's got to go through there so it has more. Anyway, his leg's not doing what it's supposed to. Yeah, still got the clearance there. We just need alright, so got it? Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Okay, so that's that. I really think I've done something wrong with the chat. Nothing there. So I might stop the stream now